with a major mission underway to stop the saltwater threat to Louisiana's water supply, putting millions of people in danger.
The problem's spreading as the Mississippi River reaches record lows for a second year in a row. Now, ABC chief meteorologist Ginger Zee and managing editor of our climate coverage is getting a first-hand look, taking us on board an Army Corps of Engineers vessel.
It's been months since Ginger Zee and 4,000 others in southern Plaquemines Parish have been able to confidently use the water that comes out of their taps.
We got the word on June 19th that the chloride level had risen from like 250 to 700 something parts per million overnight.
Wow.
It sparked, panic.
Chloride is salt that came up from the Gulf of Mexico into their water.
People don't realize just how important the commodity water is to us. But when you see it shut down schools, businesses, changing people's lives.
Mitch lives about an hour south of New Orleans, but the salt water is now moving up that river. More than 1 million people in New Orleans are now within 19 days of salt water polluting their water supply for the first time since 1988.
Unfortunately, the last 2 years, we've seen those flows be low enough to where the Gulf of Mexico has started to creep into the state.
Historically low river levels, sinking land, a rising sea, and a constantly changing river structure are all making this slow-moving disaster. Earlier this summer, the Army Corps of Engineers built a sill. It's basically an underwater barrier to keep the saltwater out. But that sill overtopped, and just last week, they had to start building it higher.
While they work on building up that sill, they are barging in water. This barge came from upriver, where it grabbed 500,000 gallons of fresh water, then brought it down here, pumped it into the water treatment facility so they can dilute the salt water that they're taking in. It's a 24/7 operation.
They've also brought in reverse osmosis machines that can desalinate the water.
These are the Band-Aids. These are temporary fixes. We need to revamp all of our water plants. Water leaves, so does the quality of life.
And Ginger joins us right now from New Orleans. Ginger, it is good to see you. Do officials believe that they are confident about what they're doing right now to keep residents safe?
The simple answer is no, that it is not enough, especially if you think right now they are mitigating for about 25,000 people in Plaquemines Parish. But up here in New Orleans, we're talking 400,000 from one water treatment plant, and then add all the hotels, all the tourists, all of the water that they're going to need. So they're going to need to do something else. And they're actually moving forward with a really ambitious plan. The Water and Sewer Board tells me here in New Orleans that they are building a pipeline from 12 miles up that will go to their water treatment plant so that they can dilute that salt water as it comes in. So they are ready for it, but they're going to have to move so fast, and it is very expensive.
I'm curious, Ginger, how long are they going to have to do this?
Well, that's the thing, until they get the water that they need from upstream. So even though Louisiana has had incredibly hot, some places the hottest summer on record, and they're in major drought, more than half the state in the highest level of drought, it's not about the drought here. It's actually 90% of the water levels are driven by the Ohio River, Missouri River, and North Branch of the Mississippi. That is where they need rain, and unfortunately the pattern does not look good for the next week, and certainly not, the hydrologist here told me, for the next month. On top of all of the rain issues and record lows, the folks here, including the president of Plaquemines Parish, tells me they really need to look at these crevasses. The actual structure of the river has changed dramatically, and that in some places is because of lack of maintenance. Basically, they've opened up large crevasses that have allowed more salt water in than they normally would.
And it's impacted a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Ginger Zee, thank you so much. I know you're going to continue to follow this for all of us. We appreciate you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.